Welcome to the World United. Welcome to the World United.
For our today's session is Cristiana Eltrayan. Christina works as a therapist. She's an international holistic speaker and author. Additionally, she often travels for opening and maintaining energy portals along the planet, following the planetary energy lines and also the cosmic rhythms. These works are the result of her inner guidance that the author is receiving regarding these energy works. Her workshops and classes have maintained the main theme of energetic nourishment, the Taoist emotional intelligence and pranic methods of healing and recalibration. So she is an author of 5 books and the Pranic World Book, which describes her experiences with pranic communities and pranic processes. So welcome, Christina. We're excited to listen to you. And your topic today is free energy and breatharianism. Over to you.
Thank you, everyone, for having me. I'm very blessed to be here with you. Thank you, Dr. Yugalar, for creating this wonderful event with your magnificent team. And the way you're handling it is amazing.
Every speaker is playing their own vital role. Thank you very much.
And I loved my former 3 speakers as they paved the path to this speech. We went from geometry and the sacred geometry of the earth that I'm working with, the Fibonacci ley lines that are across the earth. There are connecting sacred spots that I'm actually working with for many, many years now. And I'm in one of them now. I'm in the crown chakra of Romania, which is the place of the Pranic Festival of Romania. And it's no coincidence that I happen to have this conference here. The path of the heart is the path that I'm following on this lifetime and many lifetimes, actually, that my previous speaker has spoken about. And Homo Luminous is my favorite topic. This is what we're talking about today. Thank you, Chiara, for your view. So everything is so wonderfully woven between us as we are all connected. And I'm so happy to follow on that thread and talk about breatharianism and free energy, which is actually the ability to be nourished by light, source, chi, or prana, the ability of Homo Luminous, the next stage in our evolutionary process. Many of us now have noticed that we need less food or lighter food. Many of us noticed that we have real health issues when you eat the bad junk stuff that you used to eat before. The reason our bodies are bloating or malfunctioning today is because we're not utilizing, some of us, the right fuel that we need for our bodies. Because as Chiara was saying previous to me, our bodies are shifting to a new evolutionary stage. Some say they're shifting from carbon to crystal, which is a total different structure that needs a total different fuel. The thing that you used to utilize before for your Volkswagen, maybe it wouldn't work for a Ferrari or a spaceship. Your body is now becoming a spaceship. Honor it appropriately. Otherwise, it breaks down, right? And the main thing about our bodies and our consciousness is that it is shifting so wonderfully that we are actually able to do all these things that the great masters were speaking about. We are able now to harness telepathy, some of us bilocation, some of us instant manifestation of things or instant healing, remote viewing, remote healing, remote hearing, and some teleportation as well. These things are possible. Not only the masters in caves are capable of it, but actually human beings like with normal or semi-normal lives like you and me have this ability. And how do we get there? By refining our vessels. Our vessels, our bodies, as Chiara was saying, are transforming. The boundaries between our chakras and the boundaries between our bodies as layers are being somehow minimized or erased. We're becoming a column of light instead of individual nodes of energies that are called chakras, right? The evolution of our energy body is shifting us into, instead of having separate energy nodes that connect nadis in our bodies, is shifting into a column of energy, right? That where everything is united, everything is connected. We're no longer viewing at that evolutionary stage, we're no longer viewing our world through the lens of our chakras, which each one is giving a different separate view of the world, right? I know you know your chakras, so I'm not going to go into that. We're going into a unified view of the world that is perceived and received through a column of light instead of individual chakras, and that is Homo luminous. In Tibetan tradition, they were speaking about the rainbow body. In other tradition, we're speaking about the prana body, body of light. That's what we're shifting into. But as opposed to the previous concept where you had to leave your body in order to attain the highest state of consciousness. Now, the good news is that you can actually attain it on this planet, in this vessel. That's the beauty of it. We're incarnated in the best stage for humanity. It might seem that is the doom and gloom, but no, it's not. It's the party of it. Because if we learn how to harness this device that we're having, our biocomputer, and to collaborate with the device or the body of Gaia, which is also becoming super luminous, we are in heaven, and the heaven is on earth. And I'm not, as we were saying in the Pollyanna effect, we're actually observing, in direct observation, what is happening now. That's why so many of us are sometimes leaving the planet as they're not ready for this next stage, or they have to perfect their layers before coming back here and experiencing this magnificent evolutionary stage. That's why some of us, though, choose to stay, as I did and many of you did. We chose to stay and fine-tune our vessels and our consciousness to a stage where we can experience all these luminaries capacities, where we are no longer in a school, we're no longer in a learning system, we're no longer in a repenting system, but we are in a world of joy and happiness of sharing with each other, because that's the stage that we can reach when we have refined our vessels properly. And if you want to know more about this, there's a fantastic book that talks about this next stage and how it can be experienced from the perspective of many ascended masters like Buddha and the Christed One and so on. That is it's called The Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. It is written by Bertie Splending, and you find it in 6 volumes all over the internet. That's describing the possibilities that we're having now, and that has been written many decades ago. So that guy knew what he was talking about. In these days, we have new books like the Pranic World book that we've written that describes what the humans, my friends, some other people are experiencing, the possibilities that they have opened to, the possibilities that I've opened to by experiencing actually pranic nourishment, the ability to harness free energy, or the energy of source, the energy of the vacuum, as physicists call it, or the pranic energy, as the holistic masters are calling it, that is fueling each and every cell of our body. Why? Because we're made of molecules and atoms, which is energy, and that's what nourishes us ultimately, right? If you measure your food intake, you measure it in calories. That is, you measure your energy in it, right? That's what nourishes you, that's what's fueling you. And when you purify your vessel and your emotions and your mind enough, you're actually in a state of not hunger. The similar state which happens to you when you're in love. How many of you have been in love or felt love, not necessarily for a person, maybe the divine love, maybe, charity love, something like that. And you felt that in that time you didn't feel that hungry or you didn't feel hungry at all. Why? Because that love energy was the thing that energy was the thing that was nourishing your cells and your vessels, right? That's what happens when we purify enough to be in that state of love constantly, right? That's what happens. You feel happy, you feel elated, you feel that there's a divine order in this universe that orchestrates all things. And yes, there's a pandemic, and yes, there's people dying, and yes, there's cataclysms, but what does it teach us and what's the gift behind it? And you feel in that state, like I feel, that there's happiness behind it. There's harmony behind it. There's love behind it. We open to it, and we are invited, all of us, to purify, to detox our systems to the degree where we can experience that. Homo luminous is not a concept in the future. It is you and me. And all of us that are here now and have chosen to stay. So welcome, welcome, welcome to this new stage of evolution. I would love to see questions in the comments, at least from my colleagues, to know if there's something specifically that you want me to touch upon. And I've placed the website link in the comments for my colleagues if you want to go further and deeper into this. For the ones watching on YouTube, my website is soulhealingacademy.com, and that's where you can see our events and many, many articles on this topic, on how it's actually possible to harness free energy, not only in our devices and to power our cars and our homes and our laptops or whatever, but to actually power up our bodies. I've met people all over the planet, and I've worked with them for many years now, that haven't taken physical food for more than 20 years. They didn't need to eat, that is, for more than 20 years, some for more than 10 years, some for more than 5 years. Some of them are only nourished by liquids, which is not much in terms of calorie intake. Some are just nourished etherically by prana or source energy or the vacuum energy, and they're only drinking water. I have a colleague that drinks cold water during the day, hot water during the night, and that's what's happening since 2003. Now we're in 2020, that's 17 years of water, right? How is the system operating in this way? Well, Da Vinci painted it many years ago in Vitruvian Man. You see my earrings here are the Vitruvian Man. That's the Homo luminous. That's what he was trying to convey. The fact that the next stage in our evolution is a system, a biosystem that will have slightly different capacities that we're used to. And he has connected that by utilizing the same coordinates in his work that the pyramids have. So it's similar coordinates to the pyramids, similar coordinates to the Earth radius and the sun radius and the moon radius, which is telling you that we're all connected through our bodies to the stars and moon and sun that is fueling us, and to the pyramids and other megalithic devices that are utilized as power devices for the planet, power devices for our ley lines, energy generators, and geometric structures, Alexander, for our bodies and our sacred sites, right? So that's the beauty of it. It was all connected, and they knew about it long, long ago. Now we're experiencing it. And for that, I'm organizing events all across the planet. In Romania, it's the 5th edition of the Pranic Festival. In India, in March, by the way, is the 2nd edition on the March 3rd to 8th. And we're not focusing on the pandemic, we're focusing on making it. As we had 2 Pranic festivals during this pandemic, all live, not online, we're gonna make it in March too. So we welcome you in India, in Pyramid Valley near Bangalore, to witness people face to face and talk to them as they're nourished by prana for many, many years. And they can ask questions and see them and, ask them what happened in their childhood that they developed this amazing system. And I myself am experiencing it. I'm drinking a few cups of tea or soup over the day and eating some almonds during the night. And that's my meal, and I'm alive and kicking. Just came down the mountains yesterday. So this is possible, and I know it and I feel it. And my job on earth is to convey it so that people wake up and acknowledge their awesomeness. That's the thing. We are awesome. We have everything we need. We have plenty of abundance everywhere on the planet and beyond, and especially in our body. That's the message I feel to convey today. Leave out the doom and gloom and focus on our awesomeness, your divinity, your light that is ever luminescent, ever shining, forever available to you and all of us. And that's gonna move us through and past this evolution stage and challenging time. So I believe that's the main thing that I had to convey. It's 11:11. I feel that's a good time to close. Is there's any questions or things to add, or if I have some time left, I would be happy to answer. Yes, Alexander?
Yeah,
I will just one word, Cristiana. Amazing speech, and I just 6 days over. I did 15 days dry fasting. So I experienced just 6 days ago or during the Ekadashi. This amazing in the months. So 15 days, no water, no food, nothing. After 12 days, I was already, I can stay like this. So I don't need the next few days was awesome. The mind and the spirit was unbelievable.
The piece of it is amazing. It can go, it can all crash apart and form back together, and you're still the same, right?
Absolutely right.
My feeling.
That was that's a great experience.
Okay, so we're officially welcoming you to the next Prani Festival. Then maybe you can share your experience. So I'm happy to hear that so many of you, and I'm sure here in the public, have experienced that, especially in India. Now we're in Navratri, the 9 days of fasting, that traditional, it is done there, connecting to the 9 aspects of the goddess. I have been asked by the Global Pyramid Society to, make a video at the beginning of Navratri to support people in trusting that they are able to be nourished while not eating. So I'm supporting a big group that are doing a 9-day fasting for this event. And there's actually a program that we're doing online, and it's in video now, that is called Pranic Process Online, that people can take step by step for 8 or 9 days, and they can do that at home. And they have all the tools, guidelines, and meditations to be able to detox, fine-tune, upgrade, and move into the next stage. Not necessarily not ever eat again, because that's not our goal. We like to taste good stuff. I like my rose tea here and some good chocolate now and then. And life is beautiful, there's pleasure and there's joy. But to have autonomy and freedom, that's the beauty of it. To not need to stop at gas station, driving continuously for 14 hours, not having to even go to the bathroom, using your fridge as furniture, all that is so fantastic. Not taking time for cooking, cleaning dishes, all that stuff. I mean, it's amazing life, That's what I want to convey. There is this possibility, not to mention the cities, the inner abilities that you develop and the fine-tunement and the connection state that you get from it. But the ease and the beauty of life that you have from lightening up your diet. And your digestive system hasn't been created to all the time process food and take it out and process food and take it out. It's actually a very beautiful energy device that is producing 400 to 500% more melatonin while fasting than your pineal is doing. So you can have an influx of melatonin, which in turn, it generates more DMT and then more expanded states of consciousness just by quitting your food intake for a while, right? And that's beautiful.
An exclusive event on fasting.
Yeah, and not to be
an event on importance of fasting, a global event in 2022. So let us fix the dates. Right now, 7th of April is celebrated as World Health Day. Let me announce for 3-day event, 5, 6, 7 April 2022, we are going to have a global event on health and fasting.
It's in 2022.
2022. It will take time.
Okay. That's good. It's all set. So
it is. 7th of April is the World Health Day. We are going to teach the world the importance of fasting, the importance of energy food. So let us invite at least 400 to 500 healers across the world.
Absolutely. There's going to be much more of us by then that have experienced that state. We're working on it. So welcome everyone to the next Pranic Festival in India in March 3rd to 8th. Check it out on our website. Check out the Pranic World book to learn more about what's happening so far on the planet. And of course, if you want to join our online or live events, check my website, soulhealingacademy.com/events. My name is Cristiana Eltrayan. I'm very blessed to be here with you. So happy to have met you all, and wishing you the best with your event forward.